Okay, today is April 21st, 2020, and today at 3 in the morning, we have the Sun coming into inharmonious relationship, inharmonious aspect with Saturn. Saturn overall brings a very oppressive energy and influence to the whole mix. Saturn, being concerned with form, tends to be a very trying influence on the whole day. So really what's going on here is, as Saturn impacts the Sun through this challenging aspect, what we tend to get here is a feeling of worry, a feeling of anxiety. You've got Saturn at 1 degree Aquarius, you got the Sun at 1 degree Taurus. Now remember, when they're on the same degrees, even though they're on different signs, they're an aspect. In this case, the aspect is a square. And all that means is that these planets are 90 degrees apart. And what you need to know about a square is that it brings in some conflict, challenge, struggle. Like I was saying, the Saturn influence brings in worry, anxiety, restriction. And the Sun doesn't feel like it can necessarily shine as bright. If you had anything that you were necessarily worried about in your life, you were dealing with anything that may not have surfaced yet, those types of worries and anxieties can come up at this time. Now later on today, what you can see is the moon, which is moving right here, is right in conjunction with Mercury. So as you can see, they're both going to be entering the same exact degree at 4:06 today, 4:06 p.m. You all of a sudden realize that as the moon passes over Mercury, you've got this heightened sense of the mind. Here's the moon and Mercury conjunct. That means they're occupying the same exact degree of the zodiac sign. They're coming and uniting in function. Mercury is the mind, and the moon is the emotions. So one thing that we're looking at is the fact that with the Sun in tough aspect to Saturn, at the same time that the mind gets heightened, the Sun and Saturn brings about the worry and the anxiety. And now this heightened mind of Mercury and the moon have to deal with it. And so as you see here, as Mercury and the moon conjunct the heightened level of the mind and the emotions, this is a very favorable aspect for the mind, but it can be unfavorable if you do not learn or use it effectively. So with the mind already needing to fight the worry and anxiety from the Sun and Saturn's aspect, one thing that we want to be cautious of here is that we use Mercury effectively. And that means we study and exercise our minds, and that we learn the power of concentration. If we just let our minds wander aimlessly at this time, we don't discipline the mind, then we could give in to all of our emotions of fear, all of our emotions of worry and guilt and shame and anxiety, and all these other things that Saturn seems to bring into the mix. And rather than using Saturn's energy of creating form to all the mental work that we do effectively, essentially what you'll see is that you get overtaken by the worry, you get overtaken by the anxiety, and you won't be able to function. Now you may have felt this sort of energy happening yesterday, and then you may feel it into tomorrow, where this uneasy feel just sort of creeps in, but you have to be cautious not to enter into depression. Depression can be what kills you here. You just got to keep your mind right, keep it focused on positive things, and then hopefully the emotions can benefit from that, and you can channel that emotional energy of the moon into something positive. The moon is like completely dark right now, and as we enter this new moon on the 22nd, we'll be ready to finish cleansing out all that wasn't beneficial for us, and then plant those new seeds as we move forward into the waxing moon.